Okay, so I don't know what happened, but two of my cats got into it and my laptop restarted. I went offline and like my laptop restarted. So I am gonna do like a super freaking quick recap on the astrology in case you didn't catch the first version. So just grabbing my notes here. So we have last week we had all this air. I'm sorry, fire in Aries, air Aries, right? But it's fire sign. So you are not meant to rush right now. You are meant to take time as the moon has I'm sorry, the sun has moved into Taurus and other planets are following suit into Taurus. You are meant to take your time. You are meant to be methodical. You are meant to actually take some action but be consistent. So everything is asking you to slow down. You are not behind. I'm just reading my notes here. What you are building now is meant to last. Okay. So you might have noticed in my post today, I'm talking about, you know, actually taking action, not just getting a tarot reading and a crystal chakra clearing. And those are amazing and they will help you get clarity and shift your energy. But when I work with you in a larger container, whether it's once a month, 3 times a month, we can start to take momentum. We can start to notice the patterns that are coming up. It's like I was talking about in the previous live, it's like going to the chiropractor. If you do not address the things that are getting you out of alignment, that are taking you out of alignment, going to the chiropractor, getting a tarot reading, or having an energetic healing or clearing, it's going to feel great for a couple days and then you're going to go right back to your old stuff. Okay. So that's why I'm shifting into really moving into like supporting you. And I've always had these and I've always worked with clients, but like really, I don't want to say pushing people, but like really offering it more because it's like we can do all we want in that short, sorry, something popped up, 20 or 30-minute session or even 45 or an hour session. But if you are not taking action daily, weekly, monthly in order to keep that momentum going and like remove the things that aren't working, take different action, shift your mindset, shift your energy, nothing's going to change. Okay? Like you know, like I remember when I was working with my chiropractor, he would be looking at my shoes, right? And like, what shoes am I wearing? My purse, like, how heavy is it? How big is it? Because that will shift your alignment, right? He would ask about my pillow. He recommended bromelain, which is an enzyme from pineapples that's anti-inflammatory, right? Those sort of things. Like, how is your sleep? How is your stress level, right? That is the holistic health practitioner, right? Actually looking at the bigger picture. And that's what Taurus wants us to look at. Even though Taurus is not really a big picture person, we need to look at the bigger picture, right? What is it the life that we really want to live? And what are the little micro actions that we can take every day? Like for me, it's the lemon water. It's having protein after my lemon water and then having my coffee, right? The other thing that shifted for me is like now I'm actually brushing my teeth every morning because I'm not like, because I wouldn't brush my teeth in the morning till like later in the day because um I wouldn't brush it like when I would go to the bathroom because I didn't want my mouth to taste minty and like affect the taste of my coffee. But now I go put my coffee my kettle on for the hot water and lemon, and then I go to the bathroom and I go to the bathroom and then brush my teeth because the lemon water like removes that taste. So sometimes one little action has this huge ripple effect, right? I started doing the lemon water. Now I'm brushing my teeth consistently every morning. I'm drinking my coffee later. I'm having protein. I'm not having as many sugar cravings. So sometimes it's not like we need to do a lot in order to get things to shift. Okay. So the other thing that I've shifted in my life that's really helping is like stop like berating myself when I go to bed at 3 a.m. because a book was really good and I wanted to finish it. And then last night I finished my book and I was just like, okay, it's 12:30. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I'm not going to start another book. I know if I start another book, then I'm going to be on here forever. Okay, like not on here, but like, you know what I mean? I'll be up forever. So noticing these things. noticing when you're taking action and celebrating it. And then when you don't take action, not berating yourself and calling yourself names or, shaming yourself, but being like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. All right. And not even saying I'm going to do better, but just being like, it's okay. It's okay to stay up once in a while till 3 a.m. and read a book. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right. So, um, So this Taurus energy, the Sun in Taurus energy is not about chasing. It's about choosing what's actually aligned with your values, your energy, and your body. And at the same time, everything is shifting. Okay, so we've got Venus moves into Gemini on Friday, which softens everything. It reminds you that the connection needs to be light, that you're allowed to explore and to play and to change your mind. We have Uranus moving into Gemini on Saturday, the 25th, which is opening up a whole new cycle around self-expression in your voice. This is really going to be huge for the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay, this is going to be a huge shift for you guys. It's going to change the way that you think, speak, and connect. New ideas, new desires, and a different version of yourself trying to come online. So you've got to be patient with yourself, okay? And you don't need to force any of this. It's already shifting, but it's also noticing it and leaning into it, okay? Mars is still in Aries and wants you to take movement. Mars is the planet of action. Saturn is asking for discipline, okay? So, like, committing to something, right? And being consistent with it. And I hate that fucking word, but every morning now it's because like once we're consistent with something for a certain period of time, it just becomes a habit. Like the lemon water thing, it becomes it's a habit now. It is what it is. Like I'm doing it. Okay? Then I just got to make sure I order more lemons next time because I think I'm down to my last one. So, right? So it's not about chaotic action anymore. It's about aligned action. It's about moving when it's true, when you feel called to move, and not when you're trying to prove something or shoulds, the have-tos, whatever, right? So, this is about recalibration. This is about making those tiny shifts so that when you adjust yourself, when you align, you're not thrown out of alignment. Okay, and that is a lot about the nervous system regulation. And I do a lot of that with my clients. We talk about human design and what your type is and how you're meant to make decisions. And that is huge on the nervous system. Okay. So, like, if you're an emotional authority, you are supposed to sleep on it. You're supposed to give yourself at least 24 hours or a sleep cycle or go take a nap because you're not supposed to make decisions. Like, if you have a great idea, you need to sleep on it because you need that clarity. Your emotions are high and you're not, the idea might be solid, but the execution might need some tweaking, okay? So we talk about that when I work with people. What is your human design, right? I have a client taking the Inner Knowing mentorship one-on-one, and this week we are talking about human design. So it's huge, okay? So you're not here to keep up with who you used to be. You're here to become someone who moves differently, chooses differently, and speaks from a completely new level of truth. So more authenticity, more in thriving mode than survival mode. And that does not happen overnight. It happens when you slow down and actually hear yourself. So a lot of times, we want to rush. We're excited. We feel the energy and it's pulling us. But sometimes we have to be like, okay, I will allow myself to be pulled in that direction, but I'm not going to rush it. Okay. Okay, so speaking of which, before I got on here, I actually did a calibration. So a lot of times I just do things. I'll sit here and I'll think about something and like some tool that some certification that I took years ago and forgot about. I'll be like, ooh, let me try that. Or sometimes things come through, like the crystal chakra clearing is my own creation. It's something I created. So, yeah. So sometimes these things come through. And what came through for me today was to do a money recalibration. to reset your nervous system and your energy around money. Okay. So I don't have a price for it yet. I know it needs to be 8 weeks. Some of it will be recording, some of it will be live sessions, but this is a one-on-one thing. I'm not sure what the pricing is going to be, but this is something that I am working on for myself. I went from manifesting 10% of what I need to manifesting all of what I need to moving into with money left over. That was one of my mantras. I talked about that when I did that affirmation live. My palm's itching. When your non-dominant hand itches, that means money coming in. When your dominant hand itches, then it's money going out. So that's awesome, money coming in. And lost my train of thought. Oh, the money recalibration. So I literally just lost my train of thought. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you're interested in recalibrating your money story, DM me. So DM me money recalibration, or I'm sorry, message me and reach out to me, because this is something that I feel is going to be really huge. Oh, I went from 10% to, that's what I was saying. I went from manifesting 10% of what I needed to manifesting all of what I needed to manifesting all of what I needed plus money left over. Oh, that's what I was saying. I talked about that in the affirmations. Your affirmations need to make sense. They cannot be something that's like pie in the sky, I'm a multimillionaire, when that's not even remotely close to where you are, right? And now I'm moving into manifesting double what I need. Okay? So I'm playing with, and we'll play with affirmations as well, okay? Or like, I don't really call them affirmations, but anyway, that's not the point. But it's going to be energy work. It's going to be this recoding thing that I did this morning, this recoding of your subconscious. So it's a subconscious recalibration around money. So you'll get some audios around that. We'll do some one-on-one sessions. It'll be some clearing, a bunch of different things. Okay. I do not have a price for it yet. Um, but I do know it's going to be 8 weeks. So if that speaks to you, let me know. I'm going to flush out the details later this afternoon and post more about it. But this is what happens is I get an idea and I'm like, ooh, I try it out myself and I'm like, ooh, this feels good. I like this. I like where it's going. And then I put it out there, right? So sometimes we do need to move before we're ready, but sometimes we don't. And it really depends upon who you are. For me, I trust that when I have an idea and I put it out there and I move towards it, it manifests. So, but I'm also a sacral manifesting generator. I'm also a 6-2. So, if none of this means anything to you, then I highly recommend human design reading. So a human design session with me is human design and astrology, and it is not just information. It's about what is going on in your life. What do you really want your life to look like? And how can we use human design to help you bridge the gap? Are you really living the life that you're meant to be living? And what can we shift? Okay. And sometimes it's small little tweaks, let me tell you. All right. Actually, we have some cards that fell on the ground. So that's what I'm going to, as soon as I can pick them up, which is not always easy with this deck. With this desk. Okay, what have we got here? So these are the cards that came out. Oh, okay, we've got quite a few here. And I do have a reading in a little bit. So, all right. So, Prince of Swords. Okay, I love this card. So this money recalibration that I did this morning was all about breaking the chains that bind me. So totally perfect. This is exactly what's going on in the collective. Using that fire energy to break out of your rut, and then using Taurus to actually take the action to end the things that are not working and to actually take action on the things that you want to create. I am so excited. Temperance card. So temperance is about harmony. It's not about balance. Like, think of when you're walking, you may not even realize it, but you are constantly like recalibrating your inner ear, like your equilibrium is constantly recalibrating, okay? So you don't have to do it. So this is an inner recalibration, okay? So money has been a challenge for you, this this program, that the money recalibration, is right up your alley. So the failure card. So this is about, like, are you focusing on the things that aren't working, or are you focusing on what you can do about them? Okay? So like when I noticed that I was manifesting 10% of what I asked for, I was just like, okay, what do I need to do to shift that? Okay? And a lot of it was noticing where I was successful, where I asked for money and money came in. What were the things that I could be consistent about? So that's my Tuesday post and my live, my Wednesday post and my Friday post and live, right? So it's like, what feels good to me? What is aligned? And not worrying about the rest of it. Yesterday was a mixed bag, especially with me burning myself. And it was just like, my whole evening got derailed. I did not go on a call that I was supposed to go to. It's a class I'm taking. I just did not feel good. I just wanted to read my book and just allow my body to calm down and heal. And that's what I needed to do. So not looking at that as a failure, but saying, okay, one, the pot holders I'm using are not good for this. I need new pot holders. Doesn't mean I have to get rid of these cute little ones that my daughter made, but not using them for a pot of hot boiling water, right? That actually burned me, right? So it's not looking at things as like, I failed, I didn't do good, you're bad, you're wrong, whatever. It's about looking at these things and what can I change? They're up in the air, okay? This is the 7 of discs, so this is about money too. So it's like not looking at your failures as in like the things that didn't work out as failures, but like, what is this telling me? So when I was manifesting at 10%, it's like, okay, what is this telling me? It was telling me that somewhere in the programming it was bare minimum. It was like it wasn't safe to ask for more. Okay? So working on that stuff, noticing that stuff. The Prince of Cups reverse. So this is like emotion, all right? And the Prince is like those emotions that are like hot, quick, fiery, right? Like being a person. So it's also about, this card is also about nervous system regulation, because our emotions will affect our nervous system. So being mindful of your emotions, not allowing your emotions to cloud your vision and not allow you to move forward, using those emotions as information. Like, I was angry last night. I saw the pot holders. I noticed that they were like, I've known this problem for a while and I haven't done anything about it, but I ignored it. And then I got angry at myself because I burned myself. And I'm like, okay, Elpida, you hold on to them for sentimental reasons, but you know that they're not the best pot holders for a pot of boiling water, pasta water, right? And then I'm very good under pressure, so I went into like, what needs to happen? Okay, get these clothes off because they're hot and they're burning my skin. Alex, get me a nightgown. Joey, help me. You know, like, get the water. Let's get the water out of the pasta pot. Let's clean this up. Let me go put burn cream on and lay down and calm down. And then I got some Advil and I ate some dinner. Like, and then I calmed down, and now I like literally just a tiny bit of tenderness and redness. Okay? So, yes, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to get mad. But what are you going to do about it? If I just sat there and like on the kitchen floor and was just angry and just yelled and screamed at the sky, my skin would still be burning. I would probably have blisters. Nobody would have eaten. The amazing Alfredo sauce my 10-year-old made would have gone in the trash. Like, okay, it's kind of like the 5 of Cups is the don't cry over spilled milk. The Page of Cups is more like the angry asshole that punches holes in the walls. Okay, so not doing that, allowing yourself to feel those feelings, but what am I going to do with that? Am I going to channel that energy, those emotions, into destruction or into inspiration, into renovation, into new things? Okay, all right, the Cruelty card. So the Cruelty card is about the stories we tell ourselves. Okay, it's always this in this deck. It's about how are we beating ourselves up, the self-talk, right? So again, I could have sat there and berated myself for spilling the pasta water on myself, but I was just like, okay, That's not going to help. Okay? It's recognizing that I need new pot holders. Okay, well, actually, I have different pot holders. They're just not really comfortable, right? One of the mitts don't really work for me, like the whole mitt, because they're always so much bigger. So I don't use it, right? So it's like, okay, I need to find something different. Okay, so instead of getting angry and berating yourself, it's using that as information. And really, what I talked about this earlier about not shaming ourselves. Like, you stay up till 3 a.m. because you're reading an amazing book and you know you're going to be tired the next day, be like, it's okay. Information. Okay? So maybe next time, if it's like 11:30, you don't pick up the book. Like last night, I finished my book at 12:30, and I was just, or at 12:30, I was ready to go to bed, and I was just like, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to start a new book because I know how I am. And not in a bad way, but in a, like, knowledge is power. I know myself. I know if I start a new book right now, I'm going to go 5, 10, 20 chapters deep, and it's going to be 3 a.m. Okay? And I'm choosing my sleep because I hurt myself, because I didn't get a great sleep the night before. So really, not guilting yourself, not shaming yourself, not blaming yourself. I mean, obviously look at your behavior and being like, is this supportive or is this destructive, or supportive and non-supportive? But being like, okay, I love myself enough to make these changes. I love myself enough. And I know, like, we want to move from, like, I love myself enough, but most people don't love themselves at all. Like, sometimes that is the real work that I'm doing with clients, is really loving themselves and forgiving themselves and truly accepting all of themselves. Okay? And a lot of it is loving those parts of you that people told you were bad and wrong, because they're not. They were, if you like stole or lied, it's probably because you didn't feel safe in that environment. And that's not an excuse, it's just awareness. Okay? It's like, if your parents punished you for having emotions, then of course you're gonna suppress those emotions. Okay? So that sort of work. And then the last card is the Queen of Cups. So I'm not thrilled that it's upside down or reversed. Usually it's a woman that's like really in alignment with her emotions. She allows herself to feel her feelings. She does not allow her feelings to dictate her behavior, although she uses them as information. It's just data. But the fact that it's reversed is telling me that as we move into the latter parts of the week and Venus goes into Gemini, it's this like unleashing of emotions. So it's more of like, you'll see like the floodgates open and a lot of emotions coming a lot up, a lot of like regret and resentment and things like that, and allow yourself to feel that. Go to your room and allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to be upset, allow yourself to be angry, write it in a journal, talk to a friend, allow that stuff to come up, because it's really, really healing. It's information. It will give you clues as to what needs to shift in your life, in relationships, around money, around your health, around your career. It will give you information, but only once you allow it to pass through you. And then you look back on it and you're like, interesting. That person really does not respect me. I don't want that person in my life, because every time I interact with them, they're hurtful. Or, this stream of income is not doing what I need it to do. So what am I going to do about it? Am I going to get rid of it? Is there something that I need to change? So this happens more like Sunday. Like, you feel your emotions on Thursday and Friday, but on Sunday is when you kind of look back over the week and be like, okay, what actually needs to change? And what are the baby steps that I can make in order to move forward? Okay. So I hope that's been helpful. I've got an offer down below, a deep dive transformational session. It's energy work tarot, and you walk away with a strategic plan to actually start taking action. And if it's aligned, we can talk about working together monthly or bi-weekly, or a different frequency, or not frequency. Yeah, frequency. Like, once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month. Also, if you're interested in this new money recalibration program, that's a beta test. It will be specially priced as a beta test. It is a one-on-one. It'll be energy work. It will be actual sessions, probably 2 or 3 sessions. It's going to be 8 weeks. I don't know what the pricing is yet, but if that interests you and you really want to like just figure out your money shit, like your unconscious money shit that is getting in the way, let me know. And I hope this has been helpful. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.